Welcome to another live stream with yours truly, the OG. Yeah, back again. Just taking my time. Just taking my time. Long day, not gonna be on here too long. Not gonna be on forever for the day. Long enough to make an impact. Long enough for the get back. Greetings from Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to those people in the replay. And Egyptian Gamer Geek, appreciate you for coming through. Always a pleasure, sir. Know you're doing your video game thing. I'm just here contemplating, going through different things. It's rough out there sometimes. It's definitely rough out there. A couple of people are live. Shout out to those people just in time prepping. I know you live. I see you out there. What's going on? Who is that? Sarah, appreciate you. A couple of people came through. Thank you for all those people coming through in the chat right now. I'm just sitting here. I'm just chilling, just getting it together. So let me get into what I wanted to talk about tonight. Sometimes you got people out there that don't want to see you win, don't want to see you succeed. Maybe you may be going about your business, living your life, doing what you got to do. Maybe somebody you knew or you contemplated with. I ain't gaming yet, just chilling and watching you. Thank you, Egyptian Gamer Geek. Appreciate you. I know you're a gamer. Check out Egyptian Gamer Geek. Is a gamer out there. Very cool individual, young teenager. I wish I could get paid like that. Driving through to say hi. I appreciate everybody for saying hi. I appreciate the 4 people for that's in the chat right now. Yeah, but back to what I was saying. You ever have somebody sometimes, or people really, you just minding your business, you doing your thing, you going about your life. You ain't really thinking about nothing. Maybe you had a falling out with somebody, maybe you just went your way. And sometimes, people just don't want to let go. And like I said, you don't want to get caught up in folks, back and forth drama and stuff like that. Maybe they got stuff to say. Noble Girl Warrior, appreciate you for coming through. And, like I said, there's people that may just want to pick at you and they just, misery wants company and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not going to get into no names and start putting situations out there because there's definitely a couple of people I could call out by name on a live stream and, give them some fame and stuff like that. Apparently YouTube deletes likes if you don't watch a minute or if you don't want to use or lose to give it a half a minute before. Sorry to hear that, but I mean, if any likes or anything comes in here, I don't know if they're gonna delete it. I got the notification that you was live, and I just watch people's channels. I'm supporting channel. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you for being a supporting channel. But like I said, I'm just having a quick live stream, and shout out to all the supporting channels out there. You're such as Sarah, and other folks out there. There's many other folks out there that don't get enough credit for being a supportive channel. There's a lot of folks out there that really, they don't upload content, but, they do come by, they do drop likes, they do, give valuable content and valuable watch time. So shout out to you folks. But back to what I was saying. Sometimes you have people who, just want you to be miserable with them, or some people who just want to pick at you and get reactions out of you and, take you to places that you really don't want to be. You know, sometimes they're, disgruntled people. Sometimes they're, folks that you really, maybe you were friends with, you're not friends with them no more, or whatever the case may be. You know, sometimes these are the haters, or people that don't know you that well, haters or whatever. And I'm really not concerned about the haters. I get annoyed by them and whatnot, but I guess it's more or less, not what people do to you or try to say to you or where the places they try to take you, but it's how you respond. Because if somebody throws some negativity at you, if you're in a position to, move on, or if you have wisdom and things like that, a lot of times people are going to look at how you responded to somebody else's negativity and stuff like that. So, that's what it is. It's important not to, get caught up in the back and forth. And I was talking with somebody about that tonight. It's important not to get caught up in the back and forth with somebody. And sometimes if somebody has an issue with you, you have to, really sometimes shake the dust, get the dust off your shoulder and keep it moving. It's challenging, what I'm saying? Because like I said, no matter how many times you try to get away, folks want to pull you back in. No matter how many times you shut the light off on that situation and keep it moving, they wanna bring you back in, turn the light on, and bring you back into the darkness, bring you back into the dirt. Sometimes folks just want to play with you a little bit. As crazy as that is. What's going on, Yaz Poet? Thank you. Appreciate you for coming through. Much love to you. Salutations and all that. So I think when it comes to dealing with the haters, is important not to be as concerned about them. But sometimes you have to address folks, whether be it, directly, indirectly. But sometimes it's really best to just move on. I remember what they were saying. I think it was a news reporter. Somebody was saying to Harriet Tubman when she was laying in her bed on a deathbed about to die, and they said, "Well, what do you think about, the former slave owners or the former slave masters?" Maybe I'm getting a little too dramatic, but she was saying, "I don't, you know," and I don't want to get too extreme, but sometimes when it comes to the haters or people that don't feel you like that, the best thing is to not really think about them, not be concerned about them. I mean, I guess I'm talking about this right now because, I'm annoyed. Sometimes you get annoyed by certain things that happen and stuff like that, and this may not be the most exciting thing to talk about, but this is where I'm at right now. I'm just expressing myself. Sometimes you express yourself in certain ways because, hey, it's cool. It's therapeutic like that. So it's different ways to focus on the positive, focus on the people that care about you, focus on the people that love you, focus on the people that are there for you, that support you. Don't worry about the haters. Don't be concerned about the haters. Don't lift up. Don't promote folks that's trying to tear you down, because a lot of times just to talk about them, you give them attention, you give them oxygen, you give them breathing room, you know, and that's that whole situation. So we'll leave that. And then, when it comes to, I guess, actions, about those that love you, those that really care about you, let's talk about sentiment for a minute. Sentiments are nice. What a person meant to do or what they meant for you, it's nice. It's nice what a person may, the intentions, the best intentions that a person may have had, but actions speak louder. They speak louder than words. To say you love somebody, to say you care about somebody is one thing. To actually go out there and do it and support them and be there for them and be a friend in their time of needs. Like a friend told me, don't be, my friend, or don't be there for me just because you feel sorry for me. Be there for me because you want to be there for me. I mean, a lot of people, have all this stuff about what they meant to do. People well wish you, glad hand you, soft soak you and tell you different things. It's important to, if you're going to be there for somebody, not to be there in a sentimental way, which a sentiment is nice, to send sentiment to say kind things, but to actually be there is another thing. As Eldridge Cleaver once says, never have to explain yourself. Exactly. I agree with you, Yas Poet. Never be in a situation where you constantly have to explain yourself. Either you're there for a person or you're not. Thank you for the 4 people that gave the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely some cool people in here right now. Like I said, I appreciate the people that are here. Like I said, don't have to be a whole bunch of people, just people that want to do what they do. Well, I gotta go now. I just wanted to say hi. Nothing wrong with that, Egyptian Gaming Geek. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, even if it's for a minute, a second, an hour, whatever it is. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 6 thumbs up. For the people that are here, going back and forth, coming in and out, you already know. But like I was saying about sentiment, how, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, there's a lot of sentiments about, what people, feel about each other and love and all that stuff. What's going on, Faith Jones? Appreciate you for coming through. Hashtag truly blessed. Yeah, there's a lot of things right now talking about sentiment, and then next week or this week, really what we're in. Valentine's Day is coming up, so there's going to be a lot of people expressing their love and their affection and their romance towards people. But I mean, what really means something, I think, it's what you do after Valentine's Day or before Valentine's Day. It's like my mother always told me, you could say I love you or give somebody a card any day. You can give them flowers now. Always up. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you. Always a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Like I said, when it comes to being sentimental is nice, but actually following it up with actions that, signify that you mean what you say. Like if you love somebody, if you care somebody, that's not something that's just a symbol or a gesture. Really be there for a person. I remember the New Edition song, Sunny Days, everybody likes them, but tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? Thank you, Faith Jones. There's a lot of people who are there for the sunny sunshine times and, the great moments and, and all the good stuff. But can you really be there with me when things are tough, when things are rough, when I'm depressed, when I don't feel like myself? Can you really hold me down when I really need you to hold me down? Can you really give me a kind word or just be there to listen, really get me through my tough times, and it's challenging, so that's what that is. Centroy, thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Shout outs to you. But that's the whole thing about, sentiment. Like I said, sentiments are nice, but actions speak louder than words, because the actions denote what you actually mean. Don't tell me what you was trying to say. When it comes to sentiment, as Yaz Pope was saying, don't, you should never have to be in a position where you have to explain yourself. So yeah, nah, I know Eagle VP sent you here. Shout out to Eagle VP out there across the pond. Big shout outs to him. Like I said, my live streams are a little different. Sometimes it's more of a serious tone, Centroid, but it's always real. It's always true. At least I believe. Sometimes we do have a good time. As far as getting goofy and stuff. It's nice, not one of those goofy nights. It's just a laid back night. You know. But yeah, that's the whole thing about sentiments. And then, you know, um, we talk about the tough times. I was talking about the tough times, the rough times that people may face. For those, I guess, for those religious folks, they could understand where I would come from. Yeah, serious is important. Faith Jones, I don't know if you're still out there in the chat, but this part is for you. And if you don't want to get into religious stuff, I understand. But I'm really just gonna talk about some things that's dear to my heart. So I appreciate folks that do stay. If you want to leave, that's up to you. I don't know, but it's all good. Like I said, I'm not trying to proselytize anybody. But a lot of times we have to pray for strength. Like an old timer told me, you have to pray for strength to deal with it all. Yeah, okay, you there. So this is for you, Faith Jones. It must be destiny that you're here now. Sometimes dealing with life, all the stuff that we go through, just some people dealing with the struggles of trying to get by, of trying to survive, go through the 9 to 5 struggle, feed your kids, people out there with diseases, people really going through stuff. Sometimes, you just really have to pray for the strength to get up and get through the day. Sometimes you have ailments. Sometimes you have real things that are going on, stuff that, you may not want to get on camera and talk about on a live stream, or you want to share posts about on Facebook and stuff like that. Everybody can share the good stuff on IG, on Facebook, on Twitter. Everybody can, put their most beautiful moments out there, but nobody wants to put the scars, the ugliness out there. Unless they, doing the e-beggar stuff, somebody's always asking for something. But sometimes it's legit. So that's another story. I digress. You know, um, but yeah, I think for those people who are of faith, those people who do trust in the Lord and believe in God, it is important to pray for strength to deal with it all, because we're not always strong, we're not always perfect, we're not always there. We may not always feel beautiful. We may not always, be upright. And is a struggle, is a struggle, a challenge, a journey and a fight just sometimes, just to get out of bed. I remember the rapper Common said, sometimes, this game makes you lose your intensity. I feel like the whole world is frisking me. And sometimes, just trying to get through each day. Yeah, Faith Jones, it's truly a struggle. Sometimes even just getting to this moment, it's a struggle. That's why I thank God for every day that I have. I try not to take any of it for granted. It is a challenge. I mean, just dealing with just getting to work, just dealing with paying bills, just dealing with, low wages, dealing with, disgruntled neighbors, dealing with crime, dealing with police, brutality, dealing with racism, dealing with homophobia, Zionism, just, all kind of isms out there. You pray for strength to deal with it all, because sometimes, it's just a crazy world out there. It's like the old rap song used to go. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. You know what I'm saying? So that's just crazy. It's like a jungle sometime out there. So for those that believe in praying, even if you don't believe in praying, even if you're not a person of faith, it's still good to pray, for strength, for power to get up and deal with it all each day. I'm just grateful to be in this moment with you folks, whether you know me or not, or we don't really know each other like that. I'm grateful because I'm breathing. It's like I was telling my mother the other night, we have a place, a roof over our head, and you got water, you got money in your pocket, and I got real money in my pocket. So let me pull out that, like I said, I'm blessed to have money in my pocket. Not much, I got a couple of dollars. I just dropped $1, but that helps. It helps. Every little dollar counts. Every dollar that I can earn, every little bit of thing that I can do. I was telling my mother, I remember the days when we couldn't afford to even, buy 2 sodas or get a Big Mac. I remember I'll tell you a story. I remember I almost cried the first time I was able to buy a Big Mac at McDonald's, because, we came from a background where folks was poor. I mean, I remember I used to go into McDonald's, and we used to I used all I had enough money for was to buy a number two, and the number two was just two cheeseburgers with French fries and a soda. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it sounds funny, but you get to a point where you say, wow, you do have enough money in your pocket where you can go into a McDonald's and afford to buy whatever you want to buy. And so that was a big deal when I was finally able, I guess in my late, my teenage years, now, I was able to buy a Big Mac and all that. And, and I thought about it. I sat there and I said, wow, this is crazy, but that's just a side note, because it's important to see where you came from, in order to learn how far you're going to go, so, um, like I said, I pray to get through each day, and I'm grateful for every lessons and everything that I've gotten. So that's that. That's that. Not to get too mushy, not to get too sentimental and all that. Sorry if I got a little too preachy for some of you, your cats out there. That's just me. That's just me sharing myself and sharing my life. And for whoever's going to replay that, you take what you need from that. Hopefully this live stream is definitely something that benefited you. And I'm not done yet. I got two more pieces on the agenda, on the docket. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that, drunken one. I was about to call you drone worship. I need to go live, boy. You're so educated. I thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not as educated as I would like to be, but I definitely appreciate your kind words. And thank you, drunken one, for coming through. I appreciate you. And one of the other pieces I have, the next thing I was going to talk about, in this life full of distractions, in this life full of many vices, many sins, many lusts, many tantalizations out there, is a challenge to stay focused. It's important to try to stay focused, or not just try, but to stay focused on the things that you're trying to accomplish. A lot of us, we have dreams, we have hopes, we have stuff that we want to do, and a lot of times when we get caught up in the distractions and the vices and the sins, it in the lust of our heart, it deters us from the dreams that we may have. Maybe you want to buy a new house. Yeah, Sarah, thank you. So a lot of people saying I should go live more. I got to be inspired, but I am. There's intelligence and there's wisdom. I prefer the wisdom if I could choose. I'm with you, Centroid. I do prefer wisdom. Rock Truck Rob, what's going on? Woo! Appreciate you. Princess Didi, thank you for coming through. Definitely. Thank you. You're sexy yourself. Appreciate you. But yeah, staying focused, staying focused in this world is a challenge because we have the cell phones, we got the tablets, we got the laptops, you got all kind of social media and stuff that's going on. You got all kind of things that are designed to pull us away from actually doing the things that we want to do, and it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. Sometimes you could be sitting there saying, okay, on my days off, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then you wind up binge watching something on Netflix, or you wind up going out and spending your money, in the mall somewhere, getting online and getting into some other freaky stuff that we ain't gonna get into, on this live stream. I don't know if my niece or somebody or my mother's watching. My mother, you watching? I'm not gonna tell you. If my niece, you should be in bed. You better be in bed. But anyway, I don't want to give anybody any ideas. But like I said, there's so many different distractions out there. I don't have to tell you what those distractions are. Like I said, but it's important, like an old timer told me, a coworker of mine that I used to work, he passed away, Miles Reagan, Scott King, shout outs to you. Like a coworker I used to work with, Miles Reagan, he's a World War II vet. He told me, I said, what's the key, the secret to a long life or a successful life? He was saying, not too much food, not too much liquor, everything in moderation. So there's people out there who are going to get into sin, to lust, the desires of their hearts. And I think staying focused is about balance. It's a balance between the dark and the light. Let's be realistic. Ain't nobody on this live stream going to be perfect. You ain't going to walk away and be pure as white, freshly driven white snow. It's not going to happen. You're going to get dirty out there. Things are going to happen. You're going to do stuff. We're going to fall. We're going to get up. We're going to fall again. We're going to get up. We're going to fall again. Some people are going to just stay down. Hopefully that's not you. But the point is, to get up and recover and remember that, each day that we have is a possibility for us to accomplish things. Sometimes you have to get away from the social media once in a while, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's definitely one thing too. I remember a couple of years back, I had to basically just go off for a couple of months off the social media because it can get distracting. Sometimes just watching the news too much can really get to you, just having so many negative, images and things coming into your head. Sometimes you could be watching one of your favorite crime shows and You're seeing them go after the killer, and they're going on a hunt, and then you see the bad guy, and you're all wrapped into it, and you're like, yeah, get him, like, and then you can get all these ideas and thoughts and stuff like that. So sometimes, you have to be careful because we get desensitized, by these different things. We get so used to violence. Look at all the school shootings. Look at all the shootings just from this year alone. How many shootings have happened, and how many shootings from last year have happened, alone, and just, and how it's transpired with that. So you start looking at it and you're saying, wow, we become used to violence. We become used to the sex. We become used to the distractions. It becomes challenging and hard to stay focused. And one of the ways to stay focused is to understand those things out there that are uplifting and upbuilding to you, and being around a company that's going to be positive towards you and realistic and whatnot. I don't even watch news anymore. Very depressing. Well, the thing I'll say, Faith Jones, about that, I don't say don't watch the news, because even like I tell my mother, she says the same thing. With that, not watching the news, it's still important to be aware. I wish I could stay, but now I understand. The Eagle sent me, and I returned. Yeah, no, blessings and peace to you, Centroy. Thank you. No problem with that. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for everybody who came by, to this chat. Don't worry. I got one more item, after this, but you're talking about staying focused. This is just, one of those topics where, it's a challenge, because you do get distracted. And I'll say to anybody, I'll get distracted. I can get distracted 5, 10 minutes from now. It's a challenge to pull yourself back. Sometimes you have to leave reminders. You have to have notes for yourself. You have to have things that you watch, or maybe it's a prayer, or maybe it's something you do. Maybe it's somebody you speak to that'll lead you back to being centered, into where you need to be. But the reality is the distractions are going to come, because there are things that are designed to distract us and keep us, constantly connected, almost like the Matrix. I don't know if anybody ever seen the Matrix. You have you plugged into the Matrix constantly. There's devices, there's apps, there's, all these different things that keep us plugged in and locked into social media, to the point where if you stayed online for 27 hours or 27, 24 hours, that's something that, the technology would allow you to do. I know they have things where they're trying to limit people on that, but let's be realistic. They said every time you get on social media, or every time you get a message online or something, it's like a dopamine, release comes, from you, to the point where, oh, I got a message, I got to respond. Oh, there's something going on, I got to look at that. Oh, there's a new video. Oh, there's a dance craze. Oh, there's a cooking thing. Oh, this is a viral video. Oh, look at what the celebrity did, or look at what Trump said. You never know. You never know. There's always something out there designed to keep you focused, especially with the 24-hour news cycle. It's so good at distracting us that even for the people who do not watch the news, even for the people who do not want to be depressed, even for the people who say, you know what, I don't want to be involved with social media, the technology, or the way it's implemented by people, is so good at distracting you that you could be walking down the street and see a billboard advertisement telling you something about what's going on Facebook. Let me give you an example. I'm on the train tonight, and I'm just looking at watching, my phone. I'm looking at the music. I'm not really thinking about nothing. I'm not even trying to go on Facebook or nothing, or no social media. I look up at the advertisement on the ceiling, and I see a book talking about Get Zucked, and it was a book about Mark Zuckerberg and the Facebook experience and stuff like that. I get away from social media by doing something with my hands, mostly wood carving. Wood carving is good. There's nothing wrong with that. Definitely, if you can get away. But yeah, you could just be going about your regular day, and there's, constantly stuff out there that's trying to distract you and pull you away, and put you in a situation where, what, it wants you to pay attention and suck you in. But I agree with you on that. Sometimes you need to do something with your hands. You need to do something that's going to distract you and pull you away from, getting caught up in some nonsense, or some things that, don't really need to be, in your scope, in your circle of competence, in your line of sight, whatever you want to call that. So that's what that is. And then when you do get over the distractions, you remember the last piece, the last thing that I'm going to talk about. No matter the distractions, no matter the ups and downs, no matter the haters, no matter the things that we are concerned about, or the people we're not concerned about, the grind continues. Work must be done, bills got to be paid, the police got to police, the robbers got to rob, the jailers got to jail, the judges got to judge, the thief's got to thief, you know. Yeah, and the people got to live, and the preachers got to preach, and let the church say amen. But life goes on. The grind continues. The world won't stop spinning without you, especially if I'm not on YouTube. It's not like YouTube is going to shut down. Yes, exactly, Drunken One. The players got to play. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and the haters got to hate. That's what it is. So like I said, all these different things go down and they transpire in the way that they do. But it's important to understand that no matter what, the grind continues. So either it's going to continue with you or without you. Either you're going to play your part or you're not. Either you're going to sit around, wondering what happened or trying to make it happen or seeing what could have happened. It's like you said, leave, follow, or get out the way. And I'm not saying, like you're not useful or you're useless or anything like that. But the reality is that, time waits for no man or woman or dog or, child or whatever the case may be. Life persists, with or without you. So, if anything, you get up and you figure out ways to, be more absent and less present. I remember I've seen that in the AT&T commercial. So be no be more present and less absent. You want to be more present and less absent. You don't want to be absent from life. You don't want to be absent for the grind. You don't want to be absent from what needs to be done. Because regardless of what people may think, whatever you may feel about the day, however you may want to go about things, stuff needs to be done. Like I was saying to a coworker tonight, these bills don't pay themselves. Like I said, when it comes to even washing your behind, the water is not just gonna fly on you. The water, the soap, like I'm clean. It's things that we have to do. So with that being said, I think I covered everything that I needed to cover. Hopefully, this live stream was beneficial to you. For those folks that have reached this point, like I said, we've covered, not being concerned about the haters, sentiments, nice, but actions speak louder. I pray for strength to deal with it all, staying focused, and the grind continuing. So that's just a recap of what I've been talking about. Like I said, if anybody appreciated me being live, I definitely appreciate you for being live to watch me. And like I said, you know, I encourage you to support each other. Anybody in the chat that doesn't know each other, I haven't seen each other in a while, don't be afraid to go to each other's channels and drop a like. Appreciate people that's watching this in the replay. If you're watching this at this point in time, yeah, Uncle Val, funny. If you watch the video, anybody in the replay, and you got to this point, don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section, to reshare, to give a like, to give a comment, a criticism, a thumbs up, a thumbs down. If you are a hater, understand I'm not concerned about you like that. But at the same time, I got nothing but love for you. In the words of the rapper Nas, I wish you much success, even if you wish me the opposite. And on that note, like I said, you know what I'm about to say. You know what's about to come next. For those people that have been following me for a while, in the words of the rapper Notorious B.I.G., what I'm about to say. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Yeah, I think this was a good live stream. I really do. Wow. The energy was right. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Thank you for everybody that came through. Scott King, Yas Poe.